What's going on, YouTube? This is the Boxing Theorist. This is my post-fight reaction to the Lubin and Fundora fight that just went down not too long ago. Um, First and foremost, hats off to both guys for putting on a spectacular performance and entertaining the fans the way they did. The way they were fighting, it was just phenomenal. It was primarily inside fighting the entire fight. It started out by Lubin outboxing, looking to try to outbox Fundora, and he started out doing that well in rounds one. Um, Lubin ended up getting dropped by an uppercut in round two coming from Fundora. Rounds 3 through 7, to me, appeared to be close. And it was to the point where I actually had Lubin up. I actually had Lubin up a few rounds on Fundora due to the fact that even though Fundora was pop shotting and penetrating Lubin's guard, he was penetrating through Lubin's guard. Um, Lubin was also landing the more effective shots, in my opinion. He was landing the harder and flush shots, okay, and flusher shots. So that made a bit of a difference to me. Obviously, everybody sees a fight differently. You have those judges who prefer cleaner shots over and harder and flusher shots, more effective, in other words, over fighters who throw combinations and have a high work rate. Everybody sees it differently. Me personally, if and it depends. A lot of times I will take the guy with the high work rate, but it all depends. It's situational. And Lubin wasn't just letting the guy tee off all the time. There were spots where Lubin would let Fundora tee off on him, but Lubin would at times like come back in the later part of that round. So by landing some overhand lefts and some hooks, catching Sebastian Fundora coming in, which is how he happened to catch Fundora in the seventh round, right? He ended up dropping Fundora with a barrage of left hooks. Left and right hooks. He just started spamming those hooks and managed to drop Fundora to one knee, where Fundora got up, okay, and finished off the round. Actually, his mouthpiece flew out, and that bought him some time, which he got saved in which he got saved by the bell. You know what I'm saying? He got saved by the bell, and as soon as Lubin dropped him, I actually hopped out my chair and started hollering. All in my room, I was going crazy, man. But because that was a key moment. But especially after you've got dropped as well, and you come back and you drop the bigger guy. Nobody was able to do this before. You drop the bigger man. It's like that just got me hyped, man. But anyway, back on topic. To my next point, man. I mean, Lubin, he really showed heart, man. And Sebastian Fundora, man. Hit the pressure that he was applying. He was wearing it got Lubin to the point of him fatigue. Of him showing fatigue, bruh. And actually on the Porter Way podcast, Sean Porter's podcast, some of the guys on that panel mentioned that Fundora could win this fight if he manages to, stay durable, which he did, and be able to, the later the fight went, went or got, the less likely Lubin was to carry out a win. And the reason why that was because, for Sebastian Fundora, he leans on you, he forces you backwards with body shots and hooks and uppercuts, if you don't slip and roll under him, all of those things, bro. I mean, and the fact that he's not giving you any break. He's not giving you a break. You know what I mean? And no matter where you are, whether you're on the outside, the inside, or at mid range, you're liable to be hit. You can't there's no escaping him. And there's no such thing as outer range. Well, I mean, if you get all the way there, even if you decide you try to run around the ring, the man has long arms, so there's no escaping. All right, you're gonna have to eventually stand there and fight, which Lubin did. I heard Coach Cunningham, which I was also saying the same thing he was saying. All right, get some shots off on the inside and step around him. Okay, get some shots off on the inside, go to his body, start off with the body attack, and try to land something up top and spin your way out from in front of the big man. All right. Lubin was able to do that in spots, but he didn't sustain doing it. And obviously that's going to happen when you're getting outworked and when the guy's just wearing you down, bro. I mean, I've had my moments when I would spar where a guy would get the best of me and I would just totally negate the game. I would evade the game plan. It's hard because when you're tired and when you're getting wailed on, you know what I'm saying? It's really difficult to remember what you got to do in order to win. You go into survival mode. And even through Lubin being in survival mode, he was still managing to get his shots off to the point where, like I said, even though Fundora was still weathering those combinations, he was getting those combinations off on Lubin on the inside. Lubin was still landing flush and clean shots to the head all night up until that ninth round where he got TKO'd, okay? They stopped it in his corner. So both guys got dropped. That makes for a phenomenal fight, man. Like I said, they showed heart, grit, and determination. And another thing I want to touch on, I wanted to say this too. Us boxing fans need to stop being so toxic. Not speaking for all of us, but the majority of boxing fans have a habit of we have a habit of, because see, this is where I'm getting at. The fans started booing after Coach Cunningham stopped that fight in that corner. And we need to do a better job of considering the health of these fighters and taking their health over our entertainment. Don't get me wrong, we pay money to watch these fights, all right? To go to these live events where these fights are being held and all of those type of things. I get it. But we need to do a better job of considering the health of these fighters before our entertainment, all right? Now, I can understand that whole facade that went on between Sean Porter, Kenny Porter, and Terrence Crawford. I can understand that being a premature stoppage. I thought that it was a premature stoppage myself, but for anybody that say that it was the right thing to do, because at the end of the day, Terrence Crawford is a lethal finisher, all right? And we all know him to be that. But even with me saying that, I thought that it was premature, in my opinion, all right? That's a different scenario. That's more understandable for the fans booing. But Lubin's face was beat up. I mean, he looked horrible after the fight. You know what I mean? Fundora gave him a complete makeover, So that fight deserved to be stopped. I thought it should have been stopped sooner. But Lubin's so tough. He stayed on his feet until the very end. So, hats off to those guys, like I stated before, if I can remember. I would like to see what Fundora has in store next. This was a title eliminator fight, so he's the challenger for whoever wins between Brian Castano and Jamel Charlo. I would like to see either guy face Fundora to see how they handle that pressure that Fundora applies. I'm really looking forward to that matchup. And to Erickson Lubin, I pray that you get better. I pray that you don't let this loss, affect you to the point where you go on a hiatus for a long time, man. I want to see you back in the ring sooner rather than later, man. You're talented, and just try to work your way back up, man. I mean, you're a hell of a fighter, man. You'll be back up, and hopefully you'll win a title. You know what I'm saying? Um, I believe in you. And all your fans do, man. I'm a fan of you, so yeah, man. That's really all I got to say. You know, please like, share, and subscribe, and comment below. I would like to know what you guys think. Did you guys have Fundora up, or did you have Lubin up like I did? I would like to hear y'all take. Until next time, love y'all. Peace.